Hello YouTubers, thanks for clicking into my channel, which is born today really, called Speak Up for the Oldtimers with Alzheimer's. And well, this could become anything through the passing of time, because I believe I have an enormous and an extreme and a pretty shocking story to relate of things that have transpired, especially over the last 18 months since my father went into social care. So the purpose of this channel is going to be to bring attention and exposure to some of the injustices, some of the violations, and some of the appalling conditions that both my father and I actually have been subjected to over the course of that 18 months at the hands of a systemic failure, management failure within nursing homes, appalling, letdown from family who, as far as I'm concerned, surreptitiously and illegitimately produced a plan to take power of attorney more than 3 years ago now, but in fact way too late to meet legal requirements, as my dad was diagnosed with Alzheimer's 5 years ago, and nobody actually bothered to do any type of mental capacity checks to establish that my father had capacity to draw up or to invoke power of attorneys, or indeed on the other side, and equally as importantly, to establish that my father had lost the capacity, and that in fact others should at that point take over decision making and control of his affairs. So yeah, there is a lot to go through. I believe that I'm somebody who, from 5 years ago when my father was diagnosed, put a great deal of effort and time into educating myself around the condition, reading numerous books, and spending countless hours on YouTube, on TED, and actually through other internet resources, just trying to steal into other people's experiences, other people's histories, in the hope of becoming something other than a hindrance or a liability to my father's ongoing experience. Now, as it happens, me and my father did become very, very close from the moment of diagnosis, as I only live literally a kilometre away from my parents' house, and my father was coming around to my house 3 times a week, 4 times occasionally, for 2, 3 and 4 hours at a time, watching old movies, films, television, and just really giving respite and space to my mother, who at that time was primary carer, living alone as she did in the childhood home, which my parents had had for 50 years. So I would like to think this can be an amazing resource for people moving through time. Of course, my primary intention is to expose what's going on in my dad's and my case, also hoping to perhaps accelerate some progress, even at this late stage, with regards to creating something more acceptable, more humane within his remaining experience of life. Currently, 8 months into an objection over the power of attorneys, the position we're in right now is that 1 week ago, Monday last week, I was assured that an application had gone to the Court of Protection regarding my dad. I don't know the nature of that application. I remain optimistic that it's going to be a disqualification, and that the hoax power base, in my eyes, will be blown apart pretty quickly, but I don't have any discernible time frame on that. So yeah, it is just more of a ridiculous waiting game, really. But I do think there's loads in my dad's story. Whether or not the content here can ultimately help my dad, save my dad, help my dad reclaim some measure of dignity and decency in his future, this can't be known. It's a time sensitive situation, and the wheels of justice, they are challenging. They do not move quickly, but certainly there ought to be plenty in my story and the knowledge that I've gained in the last years that could help other people to navigate these horrific, challenging, demanding excruciating processes more efficiently and smoothly. And I would say that's my second goal here, following narrowly behind my first goal, which is to try and secure something still for my father, as I say. My second goal is not to waste the experience and the knowledge that I've gained. I believe there are countless thousands of families who could take benefits from at least hearing, what can happen and just how difficult it is once you put somebody into the social care system. My third goal, look, I'm a human being, not much different than most others. I'm built of the same stuff. I want to see some justice. I want people to be held accountable for the way that they've treated both my father and myself. In January this year, at 47, I, more due to anxiety, I think, than depression, but I, for the first time, went on a course of antidepressants, only low dosage, and certainly within about 4 or 5 weeks, they kicked in powerfully and helped me through my own, deepest internal or darkest internal moments. I came off those antidepressants about 5 weeks ago now. So fair to say that this is a truer representation of my more regular, normal energies. I'm again slightly anxious, certainly bothered and uncomfortable, and determined to accelerate a conclusion to this nonsense, whatever that means. So hopefully, these videos are going to commence at a time that represents a true reflection of what I'm all about also. So yeah, the third angle here for sure is a degree of wanting to make people accountable, wanting to bring people to justice, both inside my family and also people within the system. Multi-agency failure here, nursing home management, social services, offices of public guardian, doctors. I've been maligned and discredited by all on the premise of a hoax, or what I believe to be a completely hoax power base and hierarchy. And should that hoax power base and hierarchy be dismantled at some point in the future, then wow, we're going to have some serious drama, because without a doubt the consequences and implications there are going to be enormous for people. Okay, please. My plan is to vlog now more or less every effort that I make, every communication that I make with different agencies and different people, and just now produce an ongoing fluid account of the efforts that I do make, whilst being completely open to any questions of any nature around my personal experience. Obviously, what I'm probably not going to do is throw out names of homes, or perhaps even of individuals here, because to be successful here, what I do need to do is navigate the minefield of potential litigation. So whilst I might happily explain that we're in Cheshire, and I might happily explain that my name can be seen, I'm sure, on YouTube, I'll perhaps leave other people's names out of the scenario for now, just to make sure that I don't give people ammunition to bring this journal, this video journal, to any sort of premature close, which would not help anybody except themselves, of course. So, where I can, I would like to answer serious questions with video response. That's something I'll aim to do. I have all the time in the world. Recently retired at 47, and although I have some big projects running right now, I do have really infinite time to also devote to this forum or this community, if we can get that going. Yeah, so please be assured, no serious questions or sharing will go unacknowledged. I'll be looking to keep this as personal as humanly possible, and if I don't make video responses and answers to serious questions, then for sure I'll be commenting underneath and only encouraging as much sharing here as we can. Thank you so much if you stayed with that for 10 minutes. Well done. And please keep watching, subscribe. This is going to be interesting and it's going to be important.